You don't hear about this. You don't hear about this, men's postpartum depression.
Oh, controversial to say, hey, like I even feel stressed. I'm like, don't be mad at Nick for saying this.
That was the turning point.
I thought it was my pep talk.
But if his cup's fucking running on empty, he can't feel shit.
Yeah, bro, it's all good. You just go to the gym real early and stay late at work.
What are you running from in that moment that you can't fall asleep with your own fucking thoughts?
Kia ora and welcome to the Sunday Meeting, the podcast about life, love, kids, and everything in between. I'm your host, Cassidy.
And I am Nick.
And the Sunday Meeting is about something that we do every week. We have a Sunday meeting to talk about our life.
Mm-hmm.
Improve
our
life, our love, our kids, our everything. It's to improve life satisfaction, I would say. Mm-hmm. And it does its job very well. So we want to share that with you by reminding you to do it with this podcast, and then also just talking about stuff.
Yeah, every topic under the sun.
Exactly. And today, Nick, what are we talking about?
We're talking about I suppose it's a taboo type topic, postpartum depression in men.
In the daddies.
Yes, and we're going to use me as a case study example.
Yeah, and I think actually I have no idea if the language is right on this one, but do you remember that person that commented and was like, it's parental postpartum depression?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
But is that because postpartum, is that a woman biology thing? Or I don't know. Paternal.
Yeah, so they were referring to...
Paternal. Oh, no, it wasn't parental.
And,
meaning like parental. It was paternal. Okay.
Yeah, so the...
Sorry, gotta go.
So, yeah, we'll it's parental. Yeah, no shit. We're both parents, so yeah.
I know. No, so
no, but she was
paternal.
she was being so I put up a post saying that like I had postpartum depression, and I was working through it and stuff, and her one comment was, it's paternal postpartum depression. I'm like, yeah.
What does paternal mean? I'm going to be real with you. I don't know what that
paternal
means.
is just father.
Oh, it means father.
Just like it's the opposite of maternal.
That's why it's called a patriarchy and a matriarchy?
Yeah.
Oh, bitch. Okay.
Yeah, M&P, baby. M&P. So, yeah. Okay. So then she jumped in and was just like, yeah, it's paternal. And I'm like, okay, cool. So this is why no guys feel comfortable talking about it, because we just get...
Yeah, like get nitpicked on
just
some
like,
stupid
Jesus
fucking word.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
okay.
that's shit.
All right. Paternal postpartum. Shout out to user 5986. Yeah. So today, Cass is we're gonna flip the roles. Cass is gonna interview me about paternal
postpartum depression,
not maternal, which is a very serious thing, but
just not what we're talking about today.
Yes, no, it's just not what we're talking about today. So, yeah, welcome. Cool. I mean, you say welcome to me.
Yeah, Nick, welcome to you. Thank you for being here with me.
Well, thanks for having me on your podcast, guys.
Anytime. You favor it and edit it and do most of the jobs with it, so you're welcome. Okay.
Can I just say you look extra sexy?
Thank you. You can say that. You can say that over and over again.
Is that a buff headband?
I know. I feel like it's a bit controversial, but then I felt it was...
Why controversial?
Because buff is like not... great. Well, I don't know. It's obviously Indy Clinton's variant, and people are quite mean to her at the moment.
Why is that?
But it's not like a mean girl. We don't like Indy Clinton, so we're not going to follow both.
Who's Indy Clinton?
Indy Clinton is a mother influencer from Australia, very genetically blessed. She got smacked with the pretty stick a couple times over.
Yeah.
And she shares her motherhood journey online. It's very... like chaos of little kids, which I totally understand.
This is the one with the messy house and the messy kitchen.
It is full of love. Yes. That house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's quite controversial because obviously people judge her for having her kids online, which I do understand the principles behind that. Obviously we don't have ours, but everybody does their thing. I don't know. And the hair care product is obviously targeted a lot at postpartum mums to like improve hair. But I think lots of people like, that's such a skewed audience. Do you know what I mean? Because from what I understand is you lose hair in postpartum and then you get it back.
Yeah. Okay.
Some people get it back, some people don't.
Yeah.
So to target those women that are probably going to get their hair back anyways, is that, I don't know, I feel like maybe that's also their opening campaign.
Opportunistic, you think?
Yeah, opportunistic. And to like, you know, she has so many mums following her, picking a product like Boof. People just judged it from like a moral, I don't know. I don't 100% understand. I said yes to trying it out because obviously I am like quite self-conscious of my little baby here.
Yeah.
And I think it definitely does work, but I had to stop using the tonic because I kept rubbing it in my eye.
And you got those pink eyes.
I got pink eye. I don't think it was actually pink eye, but yeah,
Those
was not good.
Stingy as eyes.
It was
they were
fucking
like,
stingy.
yeah, they were fucking.
And they were puffy. It was because I'm allergic to hay. It reminded me of what it was like when I used to get hay in my eyes as a kid. So I've stopped
using... When did you spend your time on?
We had guinea pigs growing up. Didn't you know that, Nick?
No.
Did you not know that?
I had guinea pigs growing up. What were your names?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't
They weren't,
remember
to be fair, they weren't my guinea pigs.
I feel like guinea pigs don't stick around at a house for long. Ours ran away.
Really? Yeah, it makes me feel like sad. Now I think back to it, I'm like...
And they just got put, like, at the bottom of the yard, like, to do their own thing, and we'd go down and play with them and then go to sleep.
Do they need more contact? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways,
okay.
If I would play with my brothers or sisters' guinea pigs, and they had hay, obviously they had hay, and I touched my eyes afterwards, I would, like, full on puff up, and that's what it was like. Using the booth here. Anyways, the reason I'm wearing the headband is because it's a fucking good headband.
Yeah.
Like, it's sheet tight. I felt like seedy hiding the label because then I'm like wearing the product and like hiding the label purposely because I feel.
Yeah. Well, you didn't make the brand, so I think you're right.
Yeah, I know, and I like this color. So yeah, I am wearing a booth here headband.
Yeah.
Headband.
Okay.
Thank you for asking.
No, all good.
Okay.
Anyway, where were we?
Where were we? We were talking about your postpartum depression. But before we do that, we need to do our peak in the pit. Peak and pit of the week.
Okay.
What was yours, honey?
My peak was the fact that the business is doing amazing. And it's...
so cool.
I suppose, yeah, well, and I flew down to Christchurch and met with that new brand that we're releasing to the product in the wellness space.
Very cool.
So that's
very cool
really
business.
exciting, and just working away at like designing the new website, putting it, I love designing e-com brands, and then just getting all the assets ready and doing all the logos up. So it's been that 100% like be my peak. Because it's just so cool to be back in the wellness space and being like, and for like a crossover between like a wellness and a tech brand it's fucking exciting. So that's going to be huge. Watch out for that.
It's like your favorite things, and you're like, and I get to do the glue. Like I feel like marketing is the glue to stuff it.
Yeah, and I get to like, just completely reskin the online assets and just build them up from
And so cool also because they're like a friend of a friend. So it's actually really, we love working with those clients that are like, yes, they like respect us professionally, but they actually like know us personally as well, which I actually really enjoy doing because you care. It's a whole different level of care, I would say.
Yeah, and a whole another level of trust. So that's super exciting. So that was my pick. And the pit would be just the miscommunication between us over the week. That would be my pit. It just got a bit dusty due to the peak, which is an interesting like concept. Is like when you throw yourself into a peak and you're throwing yourself 100% into something, other things naturally slip. And so
you can't have it all.
With great peaks come also great pits. And I think that's in life too, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Fuck, I'm a philosopher.
Okay,
watch out, Aristotle.
Yeah, I think that's so true. It's like we always say, if Nick's having a bad day with the business, I say, okay, well, you're a bad business owner today. Let that go. Like, you're not good at owning a business today. But you could be a really good dad for the rest of the day. And it's like, or you could be a really good partner. Like, you could be a really good fiance. Pick it. You've got a million hats that you're wearing right now. Well, not a million. You've probably got like 5 hats that you wear. Pick a different hat to be good at today. And I think, yeah, you're right. The last week you have been out the gate fucking with the business ownership. Just amazing. And so many great wins. And that's obviously feeding into financials and us being secure in other areas of our life. But it has taken a hit on our relationship communication this week. Hey, we postponed. We were meant to film yesterday, but we'd had a little squabble, hadn't we?
The night before, so
we didn't want to
bring that energy. Not bring the energy because we were like
trying to act like we're perfect,
but bring the energy because we wanted to resolve it so we could talk about it properly in this. And I think
not be faking it. Like if we'd done the podcast yesterday, this would have been a lot of faking. Like both of us would have been like,
it's going great.
Yeah, exactly. We probably wouldn't have been as honest. Whereas like we worked through it yesterday, had a big chat last night.
Couple of late nights doing the hard yards, talking away.
A late night shift last night. It really was.
Yeah. How did it end?
a late night shift that we resolved things. But yeah, so 100%. I think that's such a fair thing to be like. Your peak is why your pit exists.
And that's a great
this
segue,
week.
but into what we're talking about. But what was your peak and what was your pit?
Peak has been, we have just done the boys' room.
Oh.
I have been the lead designer on our son's room because we are starting to have our bonus son, my bonus son, Nick's son that he prepared earlier, more time. We're having him over more, so I really want him and his brother to feel like they have space. And like our son's he's only just turning 2, so he's only just moving out of mummy and daddy's room.
Yeah.
And we're hating it, but I've done the boys'
Probably
room
not gonna let him
this
go
week,
out, to be
and
honest.
I've put a lot of effort into like decorating it and organizing it and trying to make it really cool and watching it come to life, and then watching them play in it is my new crack.
And
like,
only want to play. And only want. Oh, you want to go to your room and play? Okay,
you want to go to your room,
cool.
okay?
Yeah,
And then I just stand at the door like a creep watching.
Yeah.
But that's been my peak for the week.
Beautiful,
so
and you
so
fucking
cool.
nailed that.
Thank you. I stuck under budget. I did all the things.
So good.
I was really proud of myself for doing that. And then my pit, obviously the same, just our miscommunication has sucked. I felt like when you said yesterday, you were like, I feel like you're really far away from me. And I don't know what it is, but whenever we say that in an argument, it breaks me because I'm like, our thing is that we're really close, like we're best friends. So it is like a day of us being like kind of distant is like
A lifetime.
it was hard.
Yeah, fuck, it feels like forever.
But last night made me realize how many couples were, hey, it's so easy to just fall into that and stay into it. Because last night I was like, I just want to go to bed. I'm so tired. I could have a big night with our baby. You could have a big night with our toddler. Let's go to bed. Let's not talk. Let's not keep trying to connect when we were just not seeing eye to eye. And then we both went to bed. And then
Cassie messages me, do you want to try that again? I was like, yes, fuck yes.
Nick's like up straight away
Hi.
into the girls' room.
Yeah. Hi.
And then we were able to go a second round, and then we finally got on. But it made me be like, fuck, if you had work the next day and you were worried, you know, the thing that you would be like, nah, I don't want to talk about it right now, is your relationship. You'd just chuck it off at the knees.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cut it off at the knees because you're like, oh, well, it can be, I can fix that later.
Yeah.
But you think, oh, I can't sleep later, or I can't be late to work.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like you put all this pressure on being perfect in every other area, and the one you're like, so easy to be like, oh, well, we'll just leave it. And maybe we would have if we didn't know that we were filming today.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it would have gone another day because we would have been like, oh, we don't need to be back on the same page. We can make it work without it.
I know. It's, yeah. You can see how it just snowballs. We're very, like, blessed to be in a position where we can talk it out for the, like,
and have a sleep
for
in the
large
next morning.
have a sleep in and do those things. But yeah, I 100% agree. Like you can see how it would just carry on and on and on. And it's funny because like when you've got someone in the house next to you the entire time, like you just think, oh yeah, they'll always be there.
Yeah.
But over a prolonged period of time,
they're
not. Because you've just neglected it for the entire time.
And you just kind of get used to going to other places
sad,
for like a better feeling. You know, like you'll go to your friends more, or you'll go to the gym more, or you're like looking outside, which is like, those are good, healthy things, but not healthy if they're replacing something that needs to be a priority, I guess.
Yeah.
Great peak. Great pit. I loved that.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about paternal. It's parental to me from now on. I'm fucking done with that word. Paternal postpartum depression.
Fucking word.
Which is postpartum depression in fathers, in dads, or in the non-birthing parent. If you're in a heterosexual relationship, homosexual.
I would just stick to real, like, just
direct, basic words.
Yeah, just ones that
big words aren't my thing today. Anyways, so let's start off with, when did you notice that you had, I'm just going to say, postpartum depression?
Yeah. When it was, let's go back a bit, because I have had depression and anxiety throughout my, life. I've had a couple of really bad bouts of it. So I was able to recognize it early on. But I suppose the biggest indicator of it was when I was like over like a period of a couple of days waking up with the same feeling of not really wanting to get up, and then also before that, going, like, not really wanting to go to bed because I was so anxious about what the night would bring.
Do you know that's called the sundown scaries?
Oh.
And it's like a term that people use on social media to explain that feeling of like when you're about to go to sleep with a baby.
That
the
explains
sundown
it.
scaries.
Yeah, 100%. It reminded me of like the Sunday blues.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, and remember how agitated I was getting before?
It was getting so frustrated. Every night, we've just gotten both babies asleep. And I'm like, hi, how are you? Like, so excited to see Nick. Nick's like, I need to go to sleep. I don't know when he's going to wake up again. I don't know. Do you reckon he's going to need a bottle? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, let's go to bed. But it was hard because I didn't say that. I wasn't actually that considerate. I was like, Nick, I've wanted to talk to you all day and I want to hang out. And then anytime we'd be hanging out, I could just see Nick like almost looking at the door and I'm like, okay, this is hurting my feelings. But it wasn't about me. It was about what was going on with you. And I think that was good because that was like the thing every day that I was like, he's not all good. You know, like it was those little things that I was just like that. It was that and the fact that you wouldn't look me in the eye that made me be like, I reckon you're actually, something's up.
Yeah, because you kept asking like what was wrong. So, yeah, it was, to answer your question, it was realizing what I had been through prior in like my early 20s and, a few years ago. And then being like, oh, yeah, I understand this. I remember this little dragon coming up. And then being like, yeah, okay, cool. Now I have, and I'm very blessed in the fact that I have you to talk to about it and the language to describe what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think a lot of people have it. And like, I hate this word, like this sentence, like holding space. I fucking hate that so much. But it's true.
Hippy dippy, but it is. It's like, that's like the only word you can use to describe.
Yeah, like, I'm going to hold space. I'm going to hold space for you. Okay, I just need you to relax and while I hold space. Fuck up, bro.
But actually, like...
But that's it.
That's exactly it. I know what you mean.
But, yeah, for the space to be held.
Yeah.
To be like... Not so much be like, this is all happening to me and this is, but to be like, describe it and explore it with you was... Because you're really good at, like, questions for me that make me, like... discover things,
Thanks, I did 1 year of a counselling degree.
Yeah.
So that's probably it.
Yeah. And it's just like, so it made me understand it.
At what point were you like, yep, I've got postpartum depression, and then what did you feel about having it? Not what did it feel like? What did you think after you were like, this is what I've got? Because it's like, it is taboo. Like, I don't know anybody else that's, like, I don't know another dude in our circle of friends.
I do. I know pretty much majority of fathers that I know, I suspect.
You suspect, though. There's a big difference between being like, oh, I'm pretty sure. Yes, 100%. There's a huge difference between being like, oh, I'm pretty sure everybody else feels like this, and having a group full of people being like, I felt like that. I had postpartum depression. Like, as a woman, when you're going through what I found, when you're going through that postpartum period and you're struggling, every other woman that had a real genuine conversation with you about it was like, it's fucking hard and you struggle. And like the feeling that you get after you're like sleep deprived for 2 weeks is actually like probably nothing you would have felt before. And that's okay. Like imagine like how different is that for me who had that narrative from every woman I spoke to kind of thing, realistically, to you who when you talk to other people about being a dad, didn't one guy be like, yeah, bro, it's all good. You just go to the gym real early and stay late at work. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how different is that? That's the narrative that you
but that's just
were raised around.
Yeah, but that's just on like a gender level, right? Males and females express all things differently. So why would it be any different for postpartum depression to express differently? It's disassociation.
Yeah.
It's escapism. It's like, oh yeah, he just played the freaking games the entire night. Oh, he's working way more. Oh, he's getting up. He's, he is saying like, oh, I need more money to support you guys, so I'm going to work earlier, work later. These are all things that are like, when I'm like, oh yeah, sweet. So when did you start throwing yourself into this or,
So you didn't feel alone with the fact that you knew what it was because you knew
I just had the language
you wanted to behave the way other men behaved. Is that what it is?
Again?
So My question is, why didn't you feel lonely when you were like, I've got postpartum depression? Because other dudes just don't say that. And you're saying you didn't feel lonely because you were like, I know they do. Because they're behaving the way that I want to behave. Like, they're going to work heaps. They're going to the gym heaps. They're dissociating. They're like putting in all this effort into other areas of their life. That's what I want to do. That's like what I feel like I want to do. But I'm not going to because I know that that's just like masking what I'm actually feeling. So I'm going to talk about what I'm actually feeling.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is like, you didn't feel lonely in that decision because you just knew. Like, that's like very confident of you. But like, do you get what I'm asking?
Yeah, completely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. So, yeah, as I was going through it, I felt confident that other people were going through it and didn't have the language to express what they were going through. So basically, when I was going through it, I didn't feel lonely in the fact. Yeah, call it confidence or whatever, but I've spent my entire life watching rooms of people and understanding emotions, and you can't bullshit that sort of stuff. So you can, it's not what people are saying, it's what people are showing you when they're talking. And you know, like it expresses itself. Like if I look at it as males, depression, regardless if it's postpartum or something else, like or another period of depression, right? It expresses in males by like throwing themselves into something and hyper focusing on something and like completely disregarding everything else and almost obsessing over it whilst you're escaping. Like you talk to so many men that are just like, oh yeah, I did this, right? When we first met, like I can't fall asleep without watching something. Yeah. So it's like, what are you running from in that moment that you can't fall asleep with your own fucking thoughts?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, okay, that's a form of you're trying to escape your reality that you're in.
Yeah.
And so when I hear all these things, the evidence shows and suggests this. So one of our accounts is in the postpartum industry within New Zealand.
Yeah.
And so I put a post up on their social media accounts and it went hugely viral, like 45,000 likes, like the equal amount of comments to it about postpartum rage. When I was going through this period, this went viral. And so I was able to watch all these comments of this postpartum rage. Yeah, my husband just works all day and da-da-da. My husband games all night, so I went and cut the cords and threw the controller at his head. Like,
valid.
Exactly. But what is causing that? Yeah. So when you're able to look at that and be like, okay,
why is
cool.
There's this theme of like men getting more useless after they have a baby?
Yeah.
Like, why is that bringing out the worst in some men? That's making those women who are going through such a hard time just like create...
Feel so isolated. Yeah. And so for me, like the origin of it was, remember like a couple of days before little baby girl princess Bug was about... I was trying to find her name. Yeah, I was like, what are we calling her? But like, remember like a couple of days before, I was like, I'm getting real like anxious and nervous about her coming. I don't know how I'm going to juggle work. Like, so that would be I'd pinpoint that as the time where it started to show up.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, because especially like for context, Nick's not afraid of anything. Like, literally, I didn't hear him say, I'm nervous to move to Melbourne and start a new career when we moved. Like, he is never scared of anything. You are always so fearless. And I think that was something I was like,
what do you mean?
What do you I didn't even know you knew that word, Nick. Like,
yeah.
Why did you say that? Like,
yeah, exactly. And then when she came and like, you know, with that, the new beds came.
Oh my God, it was like a baptism of fire the first 48 hours of our daughter's life. She was born 9:30 at night in our garage on purpose. Like it was a home birth. It was nice. It wasn't like in the garage. Although that would have been fun too. Anyways, born 9:30 at night. Obviously, I'm in some pain straight after. We didn't get to bed till like 12:30. She's in her bassinet. Our son still sleeps in our bed. So I'm like...
And we thought it would be real cute.
Yeah, we were like, this is going to be so cute. We wake up, I was like, I feel wild. Nick felt wild. And our toddler's like, what did you do?
Yeah.
We're like, That's your sister.
Yeah.
She wasn't in bed with us. She was in her own bassinet. But, so that's that day. Then, we don't have anyone there. We were meant to have a family member stay, but they were like, oh, I'm actually going to go to work. And we were like, okay. Oh, okay. And so we hadn't had any backup planned or prepped. Or I don't even know if we really could have found any. Anyways, that day, our Akosa beds arrived, which is incredible. They gifted us a new bed and I did an ad for them. Anyways, so Nick had to move our bed out of our room into the boys' room, build this Akosa bed with our toddler, because obviously he couldn't be anywhere else. Yeah. He's with you. I'm on the couch with this newborn trying to like feed her. Like figure that out by myself. Nick is like on next to no sleep. On top of that, you've got the birth pool in our garage because I'm fucking heavy Dimmy wanted to give birth at home. So Nick had to clean up our entire birth pool, everything.
Oh, fuck.
With our toddler in tow, like trying to help. And cleaning a birth pool is fucking hard. Like, my friend said that it was hard, and she had both her parents, her husband, and her friend. So 4 people did Josie's. And Nick did ours with our toddler. Incredible. And he's obviously, there's not a thing I could do. I'm not getting off that couch. And Nick would never let me do anything. And then I think that just fucking cut you off at the knees. Yeah. Like, it could have been so different if the beds had arrived a week later or a week before and that was all sorted. All you had to do was the birth pool. You could have done it slowly. You know, there's no time limit. You could have spent a decent amount of time on the couch, like, but that was just not it at all. And then from then on, that was it. Nick was on. He went from being full-time working on our business and a very active dad to a full-time stay-at-home dad with a toddler. Because I didn't look after our toddler at all for those first 2 weeks. That was all Nick. He did every meal, bath time, bedtime, whole night shift. Like, the boys were in one room and me and baby girl were in another. Like, and you were just alone. And it's, like, was so... I honestly think Nick had a harder journey than me. I went from looking after one of our kids full-time to looking after another kid. And, like, yes, postpartum is hard and birth is hard, but that's like my Super Bowl. Like, I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah.
And I recover very quickly, which I'm super blessed by. So it's not as big as if I had a C-section or if I got really bad baby blues. Like, it's literally my Super Bowl, those first 2 weeks of having a newborn. Like, I love that shit so much. Everybody's different. Everybody, like, you know, experiences it differently. So Nick was struggling so much more. And then I think there was a massive part of you that just didn't even want to admit that you were struggling because I had it worse in your head and in society's head as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, everybody was obviously going to be coming to me, checking on me, making sure I was okay, which was lovely and I think so important. I'm glad that they did that. But, like, my first mate needed that. Like, you needed that more. Yeah. I think. Yeah. But also then would I have been as good if I didn't feel as loved and supported? So it's just we both needed that.
Yeah. And, like, there was, like, times when we were passing the baton for sure, like, of, like, you know, like, I'll care for you, you care for me.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't just me caring for you, fully. Like, in those times, you were, like, helping where you could.
I think, like, it was like an 80-20 thing. Like, I'd, like, hang up a load of washing maybe, but Nick would do all the meals. Yeah. You know.
And it's funny because when you go through it, you're like, what the fuck? You don't hear about this. You don't hear about this, you know, men's postpartum depression. Should you even do it? No, you didn't have a baby. No, you didn't carry it for 9 months. No, you didn't go through all these things. So what are you complaining about? Well, you finally got your shot to do something. Do it. Why are you sad about it? You know, and you've got all these narratives that are showing up and it's like, okay, but if you actually like your partner, like, wouldn't you, like...
Wouldn't you want to do it?
Yeah. Like,
wouldn't you want to be doing something?
You know, it's not like I don't think it should be like it's your time to, like, suffer and serve me and you know, and it's like that's a gross energy to carry. But yeah, when everything you see around is just like postpartum depressions and females and that, and society tells you like it's only that, and in majority of cases it is, but in some it isn't.
And also, I think I was talking to somebody about this. how many cases of women's postpartum depression is linked to the fact that their husbands aren't coping? Do you know what I mean? What would the statistics...
Oh my God, I'm so glad we're there right
Because
now. Yeah.
I think this is what I said to a lot of people. The reason I don't struggle postpartum is because Nick does. Do you know what I mean? Like, if there is any extra slack that is needed to be taken care of, Nick is taking care of that. Nick is picking up all the extra work. It's not me, it's Nick. So I really get to experience postpartum without any extra pressure. Like, even like the feeding thing, like breastfeeding was fucking hard. Like, Nick was there every day being like, you can do this, you're amazing. But also, if you say the word and we can bottle feed, and I'm in, you know, like, you never made anything more on my shoulders.
Yeah.
You're always like, you're going to breastfeed, you're going to be the best breastfeeder in the whole entire world. Also, if you want to chuck a bottle in that baby's mouth, I got you. Like, I got you.
We all good.
Where do you need me? Where do you need me? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and you're always trying to make decisions for me, you know, like, to lower the mental load. Like, you take on everything, and I think that's why I don't struggle that much in postpartum. Also, I do think I've like worked quite hard on like being able to look after myself and everything.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's a bit of both. But I think if we aren't talking about paternal postpartum depression, women's postpartum depression isn't ever going to really get that good. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can have a clean house and you can have all the freezer stocked full of meals and all this shit, but if your husband talks to you like crap because they're like suffering their own demons in their head, or if your husband's not looking at you or touching you or being able to connect with you because they're so fucked up, how are you going to feel better? Like, that doesn't actually matter. All of that stuff is just things. Yeah. And yes, it's great to have dinner on the table and the house clean and all that stuff. It's amazing. But if you asked women, like, really, like, what would you really want? And they had an option of being like, oh, a really emotionally present husband that was like able to ask the right questions and had all the space for me to ask for one more extra glass, like to fill up my water bottle one more time, or can you go sort the toddler's dinner out, I just can't, or could you guys get out of the house for like 2 hours, I need to be alone. Like, if you had a partner that you could be like, could you do this for me? And they'd be like, yes, of course. How much more beneficial is that than a fucking lasagna?
100%. I think we are focusing on the wrong thing, and I think it might be actually one of the solutions and quite a powerful thing to take the focus off like pouring more into the father at home, because when you strip it back in its most simple form, if you fill his cup, he can fill the mum's cup, and then she can fill the kid's cup, or that, you know. But if his cup's fucking running on empty, he can't feel shit. And if he's suffering every single day, what's his first solution? Numb it out. Work. Stay away from the situation. If he's constantly like battling with these demons, okay, I can throw myself into work, and there I can provide and bring home money and do all these things, and maybe that'll make him happy. Yeah. But it never makes anyone happy. Yeah. More money never makes anyone happy. More like space.
More space.
More space. More space makes people happy. Like, you can chase all these fucking bullshit things like money and all this and so security and provide. That's not providing. Providing is providing space. Fuck it. It's great, but it's a great word.
No, it's so true.
But do you know what I mean? Like, that is essentially the key.
Yeah, I think, and it's so controversial to say, hey, like, I even feel stressed. I'm like, don't be mad at Nick for saying this. Like, it's not that men need more. No, they do. The right men. Okay, I think that's a big part of it. Hey, the right men that actually adore their wives or their partners, adore their kids, you know, the right partners that adore, you know, the birth givers and like the primary parents that can pour into the kids, like, that's how the flow should go.
Yeah, but did you know that before you had kids?
No, you don't know. So what was the big change in you? Like, first step is understanding that you've got postpartum depression. Paternal postpartum depression. Yeah. Second step is like, were you in a like, what am I going to do about this? Or how long did you wallow in that? Because I feel like anybody that's had depression and then doesn't have it anymore, you have a certain amount of time that you have to wallow and you have to sit in it and you have to be like, poor me, this sucks, I'm never going to be, you know, why is this so hard? Like, I've never once gotten out of a phase of depression without being like an absolute pit.
Oh, you got
for a
to
bit.
you got to sit in it.
You got to sit in that shit. How long did you sit in it? What did that look like? And how did that feel?
I probably sat in it for like, I would say 2 weeks. Do you think?
Yeah, I would say 2 weeks.
I would say 2 weeks, but it wasn't like sitting. It was because I had recognized it and done it and had it before. I was trying all these different fucking things.
You had a really good baseline standard of care, I would say.
And I was trying all these different things, and I was going back to my toolbox and pulling out running. Okay, well, I can't go running because I have little
you have a toddler and an Edwards and Coase.
You know? So that didn't work. No, so I was fucking, okay, that doesn't work. Cool. What can I do now? Okay, I can try fucking meditating. Okay, no, that's not working. Okay, it's winter now. I can't ice bath. Oh my gosh, So I'm trying all these things, and then I was like, okay, well, if I can't run, I'll walk.
Yeah.
And I just reduced the amount of like what my baseline used to be. I reduced it in terms of how much time I could give to a certain thing, and also how much like effort I could give to a certain thing. But I knew if I took the run, I knew if I was eating, I knew if I was doing these things and trying to sleep as much as I could, going back to these things like, oh my god, is it okay, it's coming up 9 o'clock, okay, if I sleep at 9 o'clock and then he may wake up, so I was pulling out all these toolboxes and just throwing shit at a wall, seeing what stuck. And if it didn't stick, I'd throw a little bit less shit at a wall and see if that stuck. So it was that, and then I would say that it got to about the 2 week period, and I was just like, okay, going out for a walk, and then that lady gave me her pram.
That
was the turning point.
I thought it was my pep talk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that happened at the same time.
Pep talk.
That happened at the same time.
Yeah.
Give us a reenactment of your pep talk.
This is my pep talk.
So wait, I've just received
Oh yeah.
I just received the running pram, from this random lady. Woo-woo story. We talk about it in the previous podcast. And then I get home and Cass is like, "Go, hit us with it."
No, so we're having a chat, and I'm like asking Nick. It was actually a lot of it stemmed from the fact that our newborn didn't like you. Well, she didn't like, to be fair, she didn't like anyone but me. She was a big mama's girl for the first 8 weeks of her life.
Right.
Yeah,
this is right.
It.
Yeah, this is actually it. Yeah, this is it.
This was the real tangible feeling that Nick could feel and hold and touch, kind of thing. Like, this was the thing that he was like, I feel sad because she cries anytime I hold her. And that was pretty much it. She couldn't be held by anybody but me for longer than 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it's wildly different how different bottle fed and breastfed is.
Yeah, and I also think it might just be like their personalities as well. Like, because I hear lots of people, like we have a friend who's both their babies are breastfed. Oh, both their babies were bottle fed. One was super independent and one wasn't. So for the first 8 weeks of our daughter's life, she didn't want to be held by anybody but me, pretty much. And Nick, who was a very hands-on dad, like, this was the worst for you. He found, and also Nick was so excited to be a girl dad. Like, he was like,
so excited.
Oh my god, she's going to be a daddy's girl. We're going to be like this the moment she comes out. And then she came out and she like didn't want to borrow of you.
And I think when you like, the biggest difference I saw was in breastfeeding and bottle fed. It's like you're just, when they're breastfed, you are looking for shit to do. And you're just like, okay, well, what do I do? And I heard a lot of men say to me before, like, there's nothing, all they want is them. But there is shit to do. You just got to look a bit harder, And so that was the biggest difference, was I was just like, what the fuck do I do now that, I can't prep a bottle, I can't clean the bottle, I can't bring the bottle, I can't, do this sort of stuff. And in turn, I feel like I missed out on like that bonding time. So when I got her, it was just like, holy fuck, okay, hey, what's up?
Yeah, you're on the back foot a bit.
Yeah.
And I think, you were...
And that was jarring.
Yeah, super jarring, and it was hard, because usually you're like, our son's entire life, I really barely ever felt like he had a preference between me or Nick. Like, I honestly, like, if he was crying, I never had that feeling like, oh, I'll need to go because I'll need to settle him, because Nick could settle him just as well. Like, there wasn't a real noticeable preference.
Yeah, like,
Did you say?
Yeah, because like in Nug, when he got home, like, his first night, he slept with me.
Yeah.
You know? And that was just weird. It was
Exactly.
a really jarring experience.
So different. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He slept with you that first night. We only had one kid, so we were doing everything together.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it was massive. And then you were really upset about it. You're like, well, I'm fucking useless. Like, what can I even do? Like, she just screams, like, that, having real genuine feelings about it. And then I remember I was like, Nick, well, you need to figure it out. That's your daughter, isn't it? Like, I was actually so blunt because I had been considerate. Like, this wasn't the first thing I said. Yeah. I was like, baby, she loves you. She's just like,
but you also knew how to speak
I knew what
me.
You needed.
You knew how to speak to me, and you knew what motivated me, and yeah.
Nick being better than other people is a big motivator. Like, Nick, thrives off winning. So I remember being like to him, I was like, Nick, you're not some fucking run-of-the-mill average plebby dad.
Yeah.
You're not some dude that's like, oh yeah, like the baby just wants the boob, so I just give it. No, that's not fucking you, Nick. You're Nick Haldezos, okay? You need to get back on there and try again. Like, I was like, well, you have to. Like, I'm sorry, there's actually no other option here.
Yeah.
That's your daughter. You want to be close with her. Suck it up. Like, actually get back in there. And it was after I had been very considerate and been very kind and
you had
very
been
soft.
you had 2 weeks of, like, I would say, worrying about my mental health.
Worrying about how I was saying things and making sure that I was building him up. Every time he held her, I was like, baby, you're doing amazing. Like, she loves you. She feels safe. Like, I had been very good cop.
For sure.
And then I was like, no, actually, fuck this. You're actually so much better than this. Stop complaining about it.
Yeah.
Like, figure out a way to, like, sort it out.
Yeah.
I'm going for a shower. Like, I can't keep dealing with this.
Yeah.
And I need you to sort this out. And then it was like...
that switch. I was just like, fuck yeah. And I remember going, like, you went for that shower, and I was like, right, we're doing this, baby girl. We are doing this. And she was just like, wouldn't stop crying. And I was like, I was talking to her about, I remember walking up and down in the lounge talking to her about how much clothes I was wearing, because it was like start of winter, so I was wearing pants and stuff, and I was talking to her about how overstimulating that all the pants were, and that I needed to take these pants off, and that,
because they're really hot.
Yeah, and I'm your dad, and like, this is what I'm going to be taking care of you, and we're going to really give this a shot. And then 1 minute we were talking like that, and then we were dancing, and then like I was trying to like freaking tell her another story. I just started listing like the curtains and what color they were, like this couch and how uncomfortable the couch was before that old, the old couch. Just
everything.
Talking to her, and then it happened.
She fell asleep on you.
She fell asleep on me, and I was just like, and yeah, and you came out from the shower, and I'm like, I did it.
She's asleep.
And it wasn't smooth sailing from there, but it was way smoother.
Yeah, it was. And it wasn't like that.
But it needed that rock up, right?
But yeah, you actually needed... And also, I think we got to this point where I was like, you need me to need you. Because for a while, once I realised Nick was like a bit depressed, I stopped needing him. I stopped letting myself like put extra stuff on you because I was really worried about you.
And I think that's a good rule of thumb for males.
They need to be needed a bit.
They need to be needed.
Yeah.
And they need to be valued. And they need to have like, okay,
they need to be problem fixers. I feel like that
100%. Like, oh fuck, in every way, shape or form, that like if you can give them a task, when and where, like, and you write out the task and you can articulate the task correctly.
Yeah.
And not fucking castrate them when they do a little bit wrong. There's so much power in that, and you're going to find so much energy from that dude. Hey.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that was like a big thing when I ever had a tough time with her in the night and I couldn't get her back to sleep, or there was times where my nipples were like bleeding red and raw and they were horrifically painful. And I was just like crying in the middle of the night because I was hating latching her, but she was still hungry and she wouldn't sleep. I would get Nick up and Nick would just like come in, change the temperature of the room, get my water bottle, like,
And that
and then
gave me-
pat my head and tell me that I was doing a good job until she latched and fell asleep.
And
like,
not even half an hour before then, I was fucked.
yeah, he's so tired.
But because there's a task, I'm just like, I'm finding energy from source. I'm
Yeah, you're like,
pulling
oh,
that
I
shit.
got a
I'm
job
like,
to do. Sorry, like,
I
gotta
gotta
go.
look after my girls here. Okay.
Yeah, and I think that made a huge difference when I started needing you again, and when you were like, actually, yeah, fuck this, I'm gonna figure this out.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta really get like a fuck this mentality.
Yeah. And then like I think a big thing is like you have to get a stuck in mentality, which is hard, especially if you don't have a partner that's like
that holds space.
that holds space for you to get involved. Like I am very aware that I take a good couple of steps back when Nick's with the kids, because I grew up with a really hands-on dad, and I never watched my mum.
And so that's just your natural assumption, right?
Is that dad would do the thing. Well, obviously, I was raised pretty much by my dad predominantly, because my mum had a cardiac arrest when I was so young, and she was brain damaged. So she wasn't parenting. It was always dad. So I think I have like a natural belief that dads can do it. Looking back, probably like a couple of things we could have done a bit better, but that's everyone. That's everyone.
For sure.
Know? So I really believe in Nick, and he's incredible. You're an incredible father, so it's very easy to be
You're an incredible mum.
Thank you, honey. So yeah, it's easy to be hands off, I think.
Yeah, but yeah, it needs to be like if you're starting out with a new partner, you've got to just let them fuck it up and get back in there.
Yeah,
and not,
whilst holding boundaries. But yes, exactly. Like actually let them make mistakes, and I think sometimes I forget that when I like go to tell you stuff about the kids or like our toddler. Like the eating thing was a perfect example of that.
Yeah, for sure. Like how much did I fuck it up to then have to deal with the consequences alone in the middle of the night because he was hungry? That I made sure that the next time
And I'll be doing that again.
I gave him a bit more food and then fuck it up again and then a bit more food. And you were very good at like stepping back and like just chucking a hint and a tip every now
For
and then.
context, obviously Nick went from working full time to like being pretty much a stay-at-home parent to our toddler, and so I talked to him a bit before you took over. I was like, look, the food thing's quite massive, like knowing what he likes to eat, like knowing what to put in his lunchbox. And you're like, it's feeding my son.
An arrogant
like,
fuck, eh?
he was, okay. And I was like, do you want me to go over like a day of eating with you? Cass, I know what to feed him. I know what to feed him. And I was like, okay, honey. And then he feeds him.
Turns out babies don't survive on crackers and nuts.
And cranberries. So Nick does some very poorly planned out meals.
Yeah.
And our kid is bouncing off the walls. He's not sleeping. He's up in the middle of the night. He's not having solid naps because he's not fucking full enough. Like, it's bottles on bottles on bottles to like, cover all bases.
Yeah.
And then it got to a point when I was like, oh, like, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And then anytime I was the one to feed him, I would obviously feed him what I think he needed, and then he would be way better straight after. And you'd have to be like, what did you just feed him for lunch?
Yeah.
But you were good because you were like, okay, fuck, I've fucked this up, haven't I?
Yeah.
But he's all good. He has a great relationship with food. He loves food. So
yeah.
And that's the thing, I think, when you're a new mum, and this was something I thought about heaps, I was like, oh no, he can't have that, like, that's too much sugar, or like, there's too much of this, and then he's going to become reliant on this, and this is all he's going to want to eat. But that's actually not the fucking case. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was like a week and a half, 2 weeks of like some funny diets. When in reality, his diet wasn't even going to be immaculate straight after I've given birth. Like, even if I was, or, anybody was in charge of it, there was going to be a variance in it to what I feed him.
Yeah.
And that
based off your energy levels and
exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
So it was such a cool learning, and I think that's changed the way we parent lots of things now, because I know to approach it curiously with Nick as opposed to being like, do it like this. It's lots of me being like, oh, how did he sleep last night? How much of that afternoon dinner snack did he have?
Yeah.
Or what did you get into him yesterday? He slept mean. Like, actually being like, let's think about this more. Like, what do you think he's running off? Like, what fuel is really giving him the oomph lately? Yeah. And how do we package that fuel? Like, a big thing with our son is like the way you give him food. It's not what the food is. It's like the way it is. Like leave that bitch in the shell. Don't even think about. Do not think about mashing it up or cutting it up into little cubes. He
It's
don't
like,
fuck with it.
yeah, it's like Nug just wants to feel empowered with his food.
Yeah.
Like he really
He's
wants
a
to,
hunter, okay? He needs to get his hands
like he
dirty.
wants the job kind of half done and him
Yeah.
to just finish it off.
Like orange, leave that in the peel.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay, well, let's go to our news article segment of this. So, men, so this article here reads, this is from The Guardian in June 2025. Men are not expected to be interested in babies, and there is apparently a new father's mental health crisis. So up to 10% of fathers experience depression and anxiety. I want to focus on that stat, and I want to find the correlation between that stat and men's general mental health, and tell me why that stat is low, and do you believe that it's only 10%?
Yeah, I wouldn't believe that. Oh, actually, no, I could believe that, because I think there are lots of fathers that strive, and I think with the media we have this skewed view on it.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So I didn't know you were going to go down this road. Okay, go.
So think about that post you did on social media, the postpartum rage one, where you learned about the way other people were behaving, men were behaving. The women that are on social media late at night commenting on those things, the women that are experiencing deep postpartum rage are chronically on the internet, are consuming way more media. Think about if you're super happy, really well looked after, you know, like your husband's happy and enjoying fatherhood. Are you on social media?
No.
Commenting on stuff?
No.
Are you making content about it? Sharing it with everybody else that this is how much your husband does?
No.
It's a skewed view. And I think that's the worst thing about social media when it looks at parenting or when it looks at life. Who are going to be reporting back more is the miserable people. The really happy people aren't going to be reporting back. So we're not going to understand the magnitude of how many people are happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I do think in real life.
Oh, fuck, that's good.
Do you think?
Yeah. Okay. Well, what do you think the percentage would be?
I think it would be about that, like 10%. I just don't think it would be very high.
Yeah.
Like in reality.
Okay. Let me ask you this question then.
Let me finish my point.
Okay.
Sorry. Like before I became a mum and I was consuming lots of media, I thought motherhood was going to be really hard and everybody was going to hate it. And since becoming a mum, I know way more mums that really thoroughly enjoy it and find some of it really hard than the other way around. Do you know what I mean? Like I would say, and I guess that your vibe attracts your tribe and all that bullshit, but I also think it's not good to take social media as like a good data collection, because it's not. It's the saddest people with the most amount of time on their hands. Like even
it's like to go viral, you need to like Andrew Tate, dude, but like that dude needed to be on the extreme version of that because negativity equals views.
Yeah, and that's exactly like my entire journey. Now I don't want to make content anymore. Like I've hit such a block on making content. It was easy for me to make content when I was depressed and struggling because I knew I could help people and people could relate to me. Now that I'm happy, feeling really peaceful and like feeling super privileged, I'm like, oh, I don't want to be on the internet. I don't want to get roasted for being happy or being privileged, because I know that. I'm privileged.
Yeah.
I know that I'm living a very privileged life now, but I worked really fucking hard to get here and I don't want anyone to take it away from me, so I don't want to share it on the internet like I did when I was depressed. And that just speaks volumes, because how many people are just always happy, so they don't want to share their life on the internet.
Yeah.
And risk people being mean to them or something like that. You know,
okay,
like it's a high risk.
So if you think that the 10% is correct, right, then what do you think that the general men's mental health crisis is? Do you think it's 10%? Do you think the same rules apply with like the social media and stuff?
I don't know. It's hard. Like, it's easy for me to look on the internet and be like, all men are pretty fucking depressed. But then there's like the internet, and then there's like the men I know in real life. Do you know? Like, would you say lots of my like male friends from Auckland quite obsessed with their partners?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think of people that already have a social media following, so they won't mind me saying, like Brody. Like, I've known Brody for years and years and years. Obsessed with his wife, obsessed with his kids.
Yeah.
Like, and he became a parent before I did.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to him like, how's baby? And his face just lit up. And like, I've fucking done gear with this guy. Like, I know when he's in like a good mood. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I know that he's fucking buzzing when he's telling me that his son's like just started playing football and shit like that. I'm like, oh my god, I love that. You know, so it's so hard because I'm like, I think my view on men is a bit different to what is on the internet. So then I would be like, is that true? But then am I just super privileged? I don't know. And then, like, I don't know.
That's interesting. I didn't think you were going to say that. Because what I would say is that it's much higher than 10%.
Yeah, and that's probably could be true. But I think it's just...
But I think you're right with the social media thing where it's like, yes, you got all these like parenting accounts that call out fathers and stuff for views because it is, you build a tribe around that because the most active users in social media are people that are unhappy.
Yes.
Right? So you're going to have all these things. So your skewed view on it is that, if you go on social media, men are useless and women are going through it, which is, would you say is true?
Yes, like for the majority of the general population, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes. So you've talked about the beginning of your postpartum depression story, how it was in the middle. Where are you at now with your postpartum? Would you say that you still have postpartum depression?
No, definitely worked through it. And just establish some like good routines around like running every day or making sure like I'm moving every day. I'm much more connected with little bug but reflecting on it, like it was a hard period, but with those sorts of things, like understanding that it was, if you just keep going, it does get better, and I truly,
And what would be your big three, like if you could give every new dad 3 pieces of advice, what would they be? Like, what are the things they need to focus on? What's the things you need to look out for? Where are your blind spots going in postpartum as a new dad?
Do as much research as you can. Like
Prepare.
Read a book. If you don't like reading a book, watch a whole bunch of fucking videos. Prepare, research. Don't just research stuff that affirms your view. Research stuff that also disagrees with your view. So research. Get fucking stuck in. Try shit. Fail shit. Try it again. Fail again. And just keep fucking hammering it. And the last one would be over-communicate what you're going through also. And be very conscious of what she is going through also.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, honey. Thank you so much.
Hey, no worries. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime. Literally anytime. Well, that is this. That is our whole episode. Nick, thank you so much for being so vulnerable.
No worries.
I know it's like a lot to talk about this kind of stuff, and I really appreciate you, and I think lots of other people will too.
No, appreciate you, Bubba. Thank you. Over and out.
Over and out.